How are you going on the stream there? Hopefully this is one game. We could always do an offline stream. Oh, there is something. I think it's working. Okay, great.
Hello?
Tim, yeah, can you talk so we can just make sure you're...
All right, testing. Hello. Welcome to lower bracket first game. It is between Team Not Today Old Friend and Team No Win Only Tups. How's the sound looking?
Sounds great to me. All right. So let me just... We've worked this out. So it looks like it's going to be New Zealand on Team Dire, Not Today Old Friends on Radiant, if starting team Radiant.
Yes. And I believe we established that Team Darryl gets to get the choose. Yeah. Get the choice. And they picked first pick, so they have a plan set in mind. They want to pick something. Wow. All right. Wow, we can see the brackets as well. Amazing. So... check out this production value. Yeah.
I'm always paranoid starting this game off. Radiant. So I should have starting team Radiant, setting manual. All right, good. Good to go. Good to go. All right, ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got game
towers under attack.
One.
Straight into it. Yeah.
First game, lower bracket. Oh no, it's the Friends Hill replay these days.
Dire's bottom towers under attack.
Absolutely popped. But yeah, welcome. This is game one of the lower bracket. As Tim just announced, we've got New Zealand coming up against our boys here, led by Stuart and Darryl. Immediately with the bands coming out, we've got Jakiro and Lich. Joining me today, we've got Tim, No Tilt Crave. We've got Ray, I believe, taking a shit and having a shower and joining us a little bit later. Fred on the camera, and probably Tucker and Danny for game one. Tucker, you good to join us for the draft call? If you're there. If not, it just might be me and Tim. Nope, he's muted in response. Fantastic. All right, Tim.
Yep.
First pick called by Team Stu. Obvious plan. Tidehunter's been one of those really contested heroes in this game, and I haven't seen it come out in the bans. In fact, I've seen two bans focused on Stu. Obviously, and there we go.
Oh yeah,
straight up.
The Tide pick. They haven't really been able to have it in the past few games because everyone keeps banning it out, but I think they really wanted this game, so they go for the first pick and they get the Tide. I think that's a good pick.
100% Team New Zealand's got a plan for that. I've had a chat with Appa, and their game strat was they're not going to let New Zealand have the Tide. Can I ask Tim? Oh, look at this quick pick straight after. Back to back.
Hit Conquer. Okay.
So, I mean, before we get to processing those picks, I mean, do they deal with the Tide? Can I ask that?
It's not the worst. It's also not the best, like, because when you get pitted, you can, like, kind of crack and shell off, and then you don't really care about getting X-Torrent because you're pretty tanky, so, yeah. It's not the worst game for Tide. Like, you really don't want to see, like, breaks and, like, you know, lanes that are, like, really hard.
Yeah,
I think that you hit the most, yeah.
And the other thing to note there, obviously, Ben was playing pretty unreal games on the Underlord in the play-up to that series when they weren't really quite sure of who their Pos 3 is. And I think there's been a lot of shuffling in the New Zealand team of positions, right? We've seen Tax Collector carry in the past. We've seen GenericClone carry. We've seen Ragnarok and Appa both play in the offlane. So a bit of mixy-matchy there. But what we haven't been able to see game in, game out is that Kunkka, because it does get banned early, and it really showing that Hillary's not afraid to first phase pick it. It's not something easy to counter the Kunkka, right?
Not really. It's also, like, they have the option of putting it safe lane as well. I know that's what a lot of people have been trying out, and I think Team New Zealand have been experimenting with that as well recently. So
interesting. Do you know if they were playing Hillary in that role in the safe lane, or was it?
I'm not sure. I think it was the carry player GenericClone playing it. So.
Okay, interesting. And
I could be wrong.
Yeah. We see Nathan reprise the Earthshaker, with which he played fantastically against that JAM game early in the group stage. It's just a really helpful hero to continue this lockdown of those slippery carries, right? Like,
yeah, just drafting like a lot of stuns right now. I think that's really valuable. You know, just being able to lock down the heroes and like you can always lock down like the best player and then just like kill it right. So I think it's a good strat so far.
Yeah, I gotta say, like we've been talking about your drafts and in the success of your team, and really felt that having all that catch and counter initiate allowed you to have a very free game. And it feels like this might also be a really great way of setting up a Darryl game, right? Like all that counter initiate, the tide, even if you're not setting up the fight, definitely might break any catch onto Darryl. Same with the Earthshaker.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't know how it is when other teams draft. When I like to draft, is like I like to pick a hero that can go in because I just go in, set up the fight, and then Honju or whoever your offlane are, the Tide or the Earthshaker, they can always come in afterwards and like when they see a good opportunity. So that's how I like to draft. I like to be the one making plays, but yeah, we might see the same thing. I mean, what do you think the hero for Darryl is going to be this game? I think he has a good idea of what he wants to play, and
You know, Tim, I don't want to talk about Darryl. I don't give a shit. I want to talk about Stu because I've seen a Lich and a Warlock ban, right? I'm really interested because what I've seen Stu play and spam over the last couple of days has been Bane, and it's been a really successful hero for him in in-houses, right? Because he's been able to have that long catch. Yeah, he's rarely out of position, and he's been able to lock down, that mid player time and time again. He could give Hillary some real stress, right? Like I would not be letting Bane through. I would have let the Warlock through potentially, and I don't see Stu playing anything else if they let that through. I mean, is it worth wasting a ban? They've wasted. Not waste, I should say. They've used 2 bans on Stu. Is it worth ban?
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought we might see the line come out, but because he has played it before, and yeah, he's got a bit of practice with that hero, so I think the line would have been a good pick because it kind of does the same thing, right? Just kind of lock down. Maybe it offers a bit more like AoE stuns, but I think altogether the role is kind of the same.
Interesting. We see Team Darryl ban the Lion, and a couple of these other heroes, Silencer and the Rubik, which kind of counter that tide a bit, right?
I doesn't really mind about getting silenced, but the Rubik in particular is really big. You just steal his ult, and it's really bad.
And interestingly enough, New Zealand focusing a lot of bans on these hard carries that I'm not sure I've seen Damien play. Is Darryl a Medusa player?
Darryl can play Medusa. I think Hillary has banned the Monkey King in basically every game he's ever played, even if the other team has shown that they're not going to pick it, right? So I think it's just the same thing. He just doesn't want to play against Monkey Mid or something. So I'm okay with that.
The Disruptor pickup, which I think has been such a handy hero in TD because it's got initiate, it's got catch, it's got disengage, right? It's got damage, it's got burst damage, it's got a bit of everything, right?
Yeah. It's also good, like against these kind of like spirit-like heroes. You know what? I think I want to see a Darryl spirit. I actually think he's gonna pick it because we are talking about it before, and yeah, he was like practicing and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I hope we see.
So curious that they pick. I guess they got back-to-back picks, obviously. So I'm gonna eat my hat if I don't see a Bane come out. But Lifestealer on the Damien, not a hero I've associated with No Spoons. Must have been one of those secret lobby heroes because I've not seen him play it.
It is a great lifestealer game. You've already seen 2 strength cores, and it's like good against the Pit Lord in lane. It's good against Conquer in late game. You just rage off his spells. So yeah, I'm liking this lifestealer pick.
I think what we've seen with Damien time and time again is if he gets the space, he gets the farm. It's no question. And he doesn't just get farm; he gets good farm. When he's been cramped, it's even on the Wraith King and whatnot, which they've interestingly abandoned. I think. I eat my words. The Witch Doctor on Stuart there. Do you think how much space does Lifestealer need in order to come online? Because the heroes he's been playing, the Wraith King, in particular, Deso Armlet, and you're ready to fight, right?
Yeah, once you get those 2 kind of core items, you reach this really nice timing where you can just kind of like delete supports and you're really good against strength heroes. So I think he'll be relevant at all points in the game. At the beginning though, you kind of want to spend a bit of time getting those items first. So I think once they're ready with the tide, they'll just go.
Let's presume we're gonna have a Darryl spirit, right? Put yourself in the shoes of Team New Zealand. What tools have you got? You've got the Kunka Catch, you've got the Pit, you've got the Disruptor. There are 3 pretty decent tools. Is that enough?
Ooh, I think the X and the Pit in particular are like pretty annoying, but those can be dodged. I think the Disruptor, in the later stages of the game, it's really hard to play as a Disruptor because the spirits kind of want to go in on you and kill you really quick in the fights. So I don't think it's the best counter.
We've seen our MVP Milo having really rough games on the disruptor because he's just been burst, right? Like the Night Stalk, I think it was the Hanju Night Stalk. Oh, I can't remember who it was, but he just couldn't get his shit off because
Yeah.
they were in his face. Where he didn't really have that kind of. If he's not faced that tempo in earlier games, he's really able to boss those team fights. Have they got the catch to find the disruptor? I mean, the Earthshaker, the Witch Doctor.
There is a lot of stun on this team. So, I mean, you get hit by a Fisher and it's like, your mid laner's ready to jump in and maybe you can just delete those kind of heroes. So
let's talk about the BKB piercing stuns that Kenny brings up all the time. I hear you talk about it as well, right? When we've got these like immortal players who kind of boss the game, like Hillary, like Darryl, like yourself, do they have enough right now to hold Kunka down once he gets his BKB?
I think you have some pretty good, like with the Earthshaker in particular, you can just like echo hit right before. It's really hard to react, especially if you have the BKB. It's like you have to really be on the ball because the Echo Slam comes out very quickly. It's like instant, right? So if you're not prepared, you get echoed. They have a bunch of stuns. You can just kind of kill him. So I think it's just like still possible to kill this Kunkka in the late game. So
Shadow Shaman, a hero that we haven't really seen, and in fact, I'm gonna say we haven't seen a lot of TD meta heroes in this draft, right? We haven't seen the Jakiro, we haven't seen the Wraith King. It's just interesting that kind of both teams have almost swerved off that path. How does Shadow Shaman fit into TD? I don't know if we've even seen it at all.
It's pretty tough this game in particular because there's always Earthshaker. There's always Tide to like stop your combos. Like you just get stunned, right? So
yeah,
pretty difficult. Also, it's kind of hard to go on the Tide. You're just cracking shells off your spell. You're talking about TD meta. Yeah, so you're talking about how we haven't seen the Jakiro got banned, and then I think Tide has also been a really big winner this tournament.
Yeah,
it's like seen a lot of contention, and whenever it's been played, it seems to look really good. So I think the fact that they got the Tide early was really a big bonus to their draft.
I'm really surprised because like I said, like New Zealand, like I was talking to Ben, and he was really like very blunt that they're not letting Ryan have Tide because I think Ryan, like a lot of us lower MMR players, like we're very different on particular heroes, right? And I think Ryan is a menace on that Tide Hunter. He's tanky, he's hard to blow up, he's not feeding, and he knows how to use his Ravage, right? And can I just say, like, it's been really impressive watching these Tides, whether it's Windy or Hanju or whatever. I mean, except for that one famous Ravage. Their ability to hold the Ravage in TD has been really, really impressive. Like, it's not like we're blowing our pants every time we get the hero.
Ooh, Bat Right. Great bat game against Conquer and Underlord.
Is that a BKB piercing catch? I think it might be, right?
It is.
Yeah, there we go. So we got something. Interesting. Yeah. What carry rounds out this draft for you?
Ooh, if I were to pick a carry, something with a break or something that buys a Silver Edge would be nice. I was thinking Drow, but Drow got banned. So because it's good against the Lifestealer, good against Tide in lane. So I think most of those kind of carries have been banned. So I don't know. If I was on Team NZ, I'd probably be looking at. Oh, they're running out of time though. They got to pick quick. Oh, let's see what they pick. They picked a DP mid, so it's actually gonna be the Conquer carry. It looks.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, DP, one of these heroes that's pretty good against Bat. You just kind of drain him whenever he goes on you. It's pretty tanky. You have good move speed in the late game, so yeah, I think that's an alright pick.
Yeah,
also
brilliant.
Sustained damage.
Ray's come back from his shower smelling fresh. What do you think of these drafts, Ray? Just looking at him.
I do like the Team Australia draft, and I'm a bit biased since I am Australian, so I'm going for Team Australia. So the question for No Win Only Tups is, are they kind of on a timing here, right? Like with the Kunka carry and DP as WilliamAtlas, and they're going to be wanting to push down towers.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the Radiant draft that can deter a team fight with the Ravage and the Shaker stuns. I really like Shadow Shaman. I get the idea of Shadow Shaman for this draft. They want to use it to quickly push down towers too. But I really would have liked a Bane to come out as I felt like it would have been a better position for again Lifestealer, because it is tough playing Shadow Shaman when it's an ES or Ravage because you just can't get those shackles off.
Interesting. I've got to say, like, my vote is I'm gonna actually pitch in with Team New Zealand because I think Death Prophet's in the hands of the right heroes in TD. Like, the pace has been difficult to keep up, and it may be one of those pace hitting heroes. I think the Bat's a fantastic pick, but I'm gonna have some faith in New Zealand just to break up the vote because I know, Tim, you're gonna pick your boy Darryl. Am I right?
Yeah, I like the Tide and I like the Lifestealer. I think they're gonna have a pretty good game.
Yeah.
And then I think the bat is also there's not enough to deal with this bat. I think my vote's on it, Team Australia as well.
Yeah, fair enough. My curiosity here is, in terms of those timers, if we get early towers and we knock down that space and cramp the lifestealer, is there a window there that's enough? Like, I just feel like if they can shut down, I gotta stop saying we. I sound too biased. If they can shut down Damien's farm, is that enough? Do they have to do more than that?
I think that with this draft, they're looking to end the game around 35 minutes. Kunkka is not going to really be able to stand up to Lifestealer if the game goes longer and the Lifestealer gets, like, let's say 3-4 items out.
Yep.
So they're going to have to do, like, critical damage before half an hour, maybe knock down all the T2s before that time and start playing high ground. That's where I see the win condition coming. They've got a really good amount of toolsets to do that. It's going to come down to a lot of can they effectively use Ravage and Earthshaker ult to slow these pushes, and can Batrider get the space that he needs to really make big plays to basically delay what they want to do.
Yeah, okay. Let's get some stats here. NG, you around?
Yeah, I'm around.
My boy. All right, Batrider. Have we got a win rate for that in TD this round? I think it's been played a few times.
I
Yeah, let's have a
believe.
look.
30 seconds.
While it's looking that up, and Danny, are we here for the cast for game one?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's kick this one off. So, game one of the lower brackets. Loser gets eliminated. A winner goes on to play Team Milo. I've got joining me in the cast here Tim, Ray, NG bringing the nerd, and Danny bringing us for game one. We've got action in the mid lane here. Ward's dropped. A contested top room potentially, but they're going to let them have it with the Shadow Shaman walking it off.
It just started, baby.
It's been
Nah, it
really
looks like.
yeah, it's really realistic. I have not seen many contested runes in TD, right? We've been time and time again very happy to let it go two apiece. Although there's been exceptions. I'm really hoping we see a bit more of those cheese fights. I think it's just too much at stake. Is that what you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's very risky. Although I think the Radiant draft is, they have a lot of stuns and slows level 1. So maybe if they wanted to do that, they could. But
Yeah.
they decided, nah, let's not throw the game. It's a lot can go bad. So we'll just settle for having a 2v2 split. I think
Tim.
it's gonna be okay.
Oh, sorry, not Tim. Jason, win rates. What have you got?
The one Batrider game was on our beloved Tim here, who went 9-1 and 16, so that's 1 of 1. And the Death Prophet hasn't had much success, 0 of 2, so we'll see if that means anything here.
Interesting. All right. Let's go through the lineups. We've got Darryl on Bat, Stuart playing Witch Doctor, Ryan on the contested Tidehunter, Damien picking up Lifestealer for the first time, I believe, in TD, and Nathan back onto his winning Earthshaker. We've got GenericClone playing Kunkka in the POS 1. Appa back to POS 5 on the Shadow Shaman. And interestingly, the Tax Collector now moved to POS 3 on the Underlord. Ragnarok now holding POS 4 on the Disruptor. And was it POS 4? Where are they playing him?
That's interesting.
Yeah, and Hillary on the POS 5 Death Brother. What do you reckon, Tim?
Oh, I was just saying, no, I thought it was gonna be Upper on the pit lord.
100%.
Yeah, and then they swapped it around again, so it's crazy. It's like everyone can play everyone.
There's been a lot of, Tim, I reckon you've probably been the biggest brain this TD, but there's been a lot of big brain plays from Hillary and TD's gone. Some of them have worked out, some of them have crashed and burned, so we'll see how this one plays out. Let's go to the bot lane. We've got Fred hovering over there. We've got the Underlord and the Disruptor versus the Lifestealer and the Witch Doctor. Danny, I'm going to throw to you. What do you reckon this matchup plays out?
It's pretty passive. With a Witch Doctor, like, if you don't have someone bursting them down with the Maledict, it's like, you don't really get kills. And Lifestealer doesn't offer that.
I mean...
I will add that, Lifestealer has a good lane in this. You can always just pit lord, and it's really hard for him to do anything. He's got a lot of health, so you get a lot of health back.
Yeah, so I think it's just gonna be like really farm heavy. I think there'll be too much action unless they really overstep on the Disruptor.
An itemization for Damien, you think, in this game?
I see a kill going to happen in the top lane, maybe here.
Yeah. Well, he's too. There's the watermelon. He's just a little too chunky, isn't he? On that, let's rotate up to top. Tidehunter, Earthshaker, Shaman, Kunkka, Ray. You're the offlaner here. What kind of game is this for the Tide?
This is a sad lane for the Tidehunter. Appa's doing a really great job if you've seen him basically zoning these two out. So they should have a level advantage. I don't know. Like it's a bit difficult with like one ranged hero for the shaman for these two to contest, and it's kind of I guess the weakness of having an Earthshaker position 4. But if you can get the levels without sustaining too much damage, then Disco Pumper may be able to get enough out of the lane.
I think
Another thing is that like the Conquer Cleave
Yeah, it
goes
hurts.
through because it's Kraken Shell, yeah.
Mm.
So a lot of his
It
tanks
hurts.
is mitigated.
It hurts.
Yeah, Tim, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say I kind of like this lane for the Tide because it's a melee hero, so you're not just getting constantly harassed, and like you can reduce the damage with the Anchor Smash, and I think the cleave will get reduced as well.
We got the pull onto the Earthshaker and the Tyrant landing, but that may not be enough with the Tidehunter going in to break up that fight. One thing I will say is that we've got no regen left on the Tide, and we've got the only salve now being used on Nathan. That is one tango between two heroes sitting on about 50% health. A little bit criminal at this point, don't you think?
There is a fat wave coming in. We'll get his Ring of Health soon. Should be okay.
Yeah. Fair enough. Oh, and there's the tango donated to Ryan. So all regen used up. And let's finally move to mid lane. Tim, you got to talk us through this. You're a DP and a Batrider player.
That's
Darryl versus Hillary. What's your call?
I think in terms of matchup, I think in the early stages of the levels, like I think DP should destroy Bat in the early levels because Bat is not a very good laner until he gets a couple of levels on his oil. But I think now that it's like around level 5, he's gonna just be able to like last hit everything. Use the flame, the Firefly if he needs to get the last hits, and then just go to the jungle. So I think he's actually doing pretty well in the mid lane.
I'm gonna say that we've seen flashes of absolute brilliance from Darryl, but he hasn't bossed TD perhaps like what we had thought he might. Do you reckon Batrider's going to be one of those games where he's just able to do whatever he wants, or is it a bit conditional?
I think this game he's going to have a good game, so I'd be surprised if we see him, crash and burn or whatever. So, yeah, I'm expecting great things this game at least.
I think as long as he's not a Dazzle or a Bristleback.
Bot lane,
we're gonna see great things.
Stu's might pop here. Oh, he's very fire and he gets away with it.
Close to, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's talk about timings. We said that New Zealand's on a timer. What items do they need up? What towers do they need to take? Tim, if you're Team New Zealand, what are you calling? Oh, hold on, wait. So top lane, Shackles on the Earthshaker again, Turret landed, and he's blown up. Sorry, go on, Tim.
No, I was just gonna say, I think you're really looking towards these BKBs. I think it's the most important item in this game. You need BKB on basically all of your cores. Maybe not the Pit Lord, but you need one on Conquer, and you probably need one.
Rotation spot, stun onto the Underlord, but he's just gonna try and TP away, and I think he might have pulled that one off.
Oh yeah.
And Darryl ran out of mana.
Yeah, didn't get his last two off because he didn't have the mana.
That's a lot of wasted time bot, and DP is going to get a lot of damage on the mid towers with Creep Wave. He has a Siege Wagon and he has his ult going.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think gonna be happy about that one.
Definitely not.
So BKB's first? Or there's got to be an item before that, right? Is it the Yules?
I think you'll probably get like Armlet on the Conquer, and maybe, on the mid lane you might go like Yules or something, get some early stats.
And then straight into BKB and hit your 20-minute timing and run at them, or?
I think it's going to be interesting to see when he decides to get it, because I think you definitely want it, but at the same time, you want to kind of build these items that kind of help your early game. So
Counter initiate on top, yeah, but the turret is a really nice disengage there. Can I say, and they're going onto Nathan. Will he get the grip off? And he does, and there he goes. Those torrents have been landing. Tide's coming at Appa now, and he's chonking away. Can he get away with this? And there's another torrent.
Very surprised, like, he actually didn't learn X, so he's going for the,
I mean, hey, if you land every single torrent, do you need X?
That is true.
Bit of catch, I guess. Can I also say, Tim, what's been really interesting watching your games is the kind of drafts that you've been picking is that teams sometimes feel like they're stronger than they are in a team fight, overextend, and then it's kind of been quite regrettable. Do you think which team do you think bosses the team fights?
For sure, I put it on the team with the Tide and the Earthshaker, because these kind of team fight spells that just have the potential to just destroy a fight. I think you can't undervalue those spells. Yeah, for sure. I think the Ravage and the Echo, Lasso as well, 20% can really put a like make the team fight really hard for you to play. So yeah.
So what are the
Federating.
conditions then for the team fight? How do we need to play these? If I'm New Zealand, is it that I'm trying to find the pickoffs? Is it that I'm splitting? And we see Batrider rotate once again to the bot lane.
Ooh,
They're going
yeah.
for that Underlord, and they'll get it quite easily. He's going to try and get a second. He picks Ragnarok with the Sue. Is that
Lasso.
enough? It's
I
going to be
think
enough.
it's should be a kill.
Well, there you
Going back
go.
to what you were saying, Lakshman, like with Die, I think most of the team would be Underlord trying to be that front line, so it makes it hard for them to Ravage and Echo. And I think Darryl recognizes that. That's why he's tried to gank bot twice to shut down this Underlord, make it really hard for me, that tanky boy.
Great call. Mid tower almost gone, and Hillary choosing to hold on to his exorcism. He could have easily have taken it, I believe, with Darryl rotating bot. As unfortunately Nathan overextends again in the top lane, which is unfortunate. Do you reckon we're getting to that point now where exorcism is now much more of a strategic tool rather than just here's an opening, I'm going to blast it down and clear away?
Yeah, I think once this mid tower falls, we'll probably be looking to exo bot, but bot lane actually.
Bot
ooh.
lane, Pit and Glimpse. Sorry, Pit and Thunderstrike using to blow up.
I think in about 30 seconds, we're going to see NZ group up. I think when the 2-minute timer hits, they get the tomes. Russell's going to be level 6, which means he'll have his Serpent Wards. And I see this team grouping up and just methodically taking towers down after that timing.
I really hope so. I really hope so. And it has to be, like, with the Death Prophet pick, you're almost on the timer with that, right? And
Yeah.
I find it really interesting that he didn't use it. You know, he could have used it and it would have been almost up in the next 60 seconds. So he very specifically chose not to take mid tower with the exorcism in the previous fight. So we'll see what he does. Let's look at net worth. We've got Death Prophet way out in front, 4.7k, with Hunka and Bat in close to price. Damien, interestingly enough, not getting the kind of farm that maybe we thought he might. Is that just because of the harass of the Underlord there, or is that about on track? Lifesteal is just not a very fast farmer.
I think in the early stages of games, you don't farm that fast, but once you start like getting that armlet, you know, you really just go to the jungle, just farm it up, get your deso.
Yeah.
So I think he's not too sad with this farm, so he's gonna be alright.
I think he's happy too. He's got a level advantage over the offlaner, and you can see he's just bullying him out.
What do you guys think of him not getting ult?
Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess you don't really need it if you're not
Top
like
lane.
trying to fight. Ooh, top
We've
lane.
got Kunka pulling out his ults to
All the Ravage is used.
Oh, the bat has
Not
traveled.
bad.
The bat arrived though. The bat is
Yeah.
arrived.
Oh, but at the same time, DP has arrived with the ult. He's coming in. Oh, they're gonna clean up the Earthshaker. See if they can get an X on the back, but no X skilled yet. So he's gonna be able to walk.
Meanwhile, we see Stu buying the bot lane as well. So
Oh, there's gonna be a back going down here at top lane.
Oh, he's getting that.
That's huge. A little bit of a misplay there by Darryl, I feel.
You know what, bot Damien kills the Underlord.
so much action.
So much action.
And meanwhile, on top,
Oh, this.
oh no,
no.
Stuart decides to go one-on-one with the exorcism ending there, and Death Prophet getting back all their health. So there might just be a clean disengage at that point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
That was
think.
really savage how much damage the Death Prophet was able to pull out into the tide really quickly.
So
Magic damage, I guess.
yeah,
right?
with the DP ult, it's like if you're right next to the hero, like all the ghosts hit you at the same time, right? So if you're missed a kill. But anyways, yeah, if they're right next to the hero, like all the ghosts just hit you, and then like it's a lot of burst damage. So he was standing right next to the DP, so that's why he was taking all that damage real quick.
The exorcism is down for another 80 seconds.
At the same time, there's no ravage, so
That's true.
NY losing a
At
lot of
top
health.
here, yeah. There's another death on the Earthshaker. Meanwhile, they're trading that hero
Oh, DP
with a
using
Shadow
Scythe.
Shaman. Oh,
Doing a
double
lot of-
siphon.
Oh,
Yeah.
there'll be lots of sucky going on here.
GenericClone might be good.
Oh, nice. Go
It's
Team
on
Australia. Come on, Darryl.
We can get this kill. He's got a lot of
He's
stats on him.
got the suit.
Oh, he
And
does
there's
have
the
the
heals.
Yeah,
Wow.
so baiting it out.
This is pretty frantic play, but what's been interesting is that I think in both of those fights, Nathan getting picked off pretty early, and the Ravage obviously being used there to set up the double kill for the Batrider. And once those two spells are kind of used up early in the fight, you've got the Death Prophet ult, which goes on forever. Got the Kunkka ult, and we've got the Shaman as well with very short cooldown spells. And as they wrap around on Darryl right now, here comes the snakes, but he doesn't get the shackle off, which is a tragedy there. And in fact, Ben might pay with his life there. Nope, he gets away with it, but really copping a lot of flack there from the mid tower. What do you think about that? Like, if you can survive those two, early spells, there's a lot of really handy cooldowns and lockdown from New Zealand. Could it be that they want those panicked, scrambled fights that we've kind of seen in TD for the last couple of games?
I think, like, for the Radiant here...
Oh, bot lane there, sorry, we're going to miss a kill there as well. Go on.
Could be a double here for the lifestealer, actually.
Mass rotation, bots, Echo Slam used, but will GenericClone just walk it off with the armlet toggle? He might. Exorcism popped, and Nathan once again potentially caught out, but his spells are used, so he may not mind that so much.
Oh, and this DP is pretty deep.
Darryl does have the use of Lasso. Is he going to commit it?
Wait until after the Yule.
Nathan taking some serious damage in this. It's silence. Will he be able to blow him up?
So much damage.
Oh my god, there he is. He's dead. He gets the kill. And will he get... Oh! He almost gets the Darryl, but just a little bit too tanky there.
Yeah, misplay there.
Lifestealer needs to break the tether there.
Yeah, he had Infest available.
Does that break the tether, you guys?
I think so. I mean, like, I guess if he goes inside Darryl, like, probably.
I mean, I think that's the point I was trying to make, right? Like, once you get rid of those early disable, like, does the Death Prophet kind of, is she able, and obviously it's very deep there, but is she able to use her exorcism in the early game to kind of, like, pound out some real damage, even onto that lifestealer?
Yeah,
toggle.
I mean, generally, right now, with the strat, you kind of want to use this DP ulti to take fights where you're going for the objectives. We don't really see it directly in the game, but I think Team Australia is doing a good job of making her use her ulti so that her team does not die, and then they pick up a couple kills here and there. But they're actually defending like their tier 1 outer towers like quite healthily.
Yeah, that TP boots on the bat's been really valuable, right? He's been there every major team fight. The mobility, and these guys are mass TPing in for these fights, so really coordinated responses. As we see New Zealand group for bot, whilst Radiant group up for top. Tim, can I ask you, mid tower down, you're down 11 to 14 kills only with just a 1k loss. Darryl's team mustn't be too unhappy with this early phase, right?
I think the fact that this bot tower has taken so long to fall down, like it's only just now going down, I think they're pretty happy with that. So.
And they're going to let top tower go there.
Any thoughts on the DP Mage Slayer?
Ooh, interesting item this game. So I was talking about that BKB timing. You kind of want to get other items, like you don't really want to buy a BKB. And I think a Mage Slayer might, like, because you get magic resist, you get a bit of mana, you know. I think it's alright this game if you can get hits off on like Bat or on Tide, you know, kind of reduce their damage. So I think it has some value with it in this game.
Yeah, right-clicking them.
I'd have to disagree. I think you really want a BKB because the only thing I can say right now is tick-tock, tick-tock. Because the rate this game is going, Team NZ might be on a bit of a back foot.
Yeah, we haven't seen that frenetic pace, partly because the Batrider's been able to TP and set tempo and also counter. Yeah, so it's been really interesting. As we see Stuart get caught out in the bot jungle there, Siphon, silence, the Q being blown, and that might be enough. Yeah. Unlucky there. And now they're going to hopefully look to push that mid tower down on the back of that with Exorcism up already. Tim, what does Team New Zealand need to do? Like, what are the really basic objectives? Is it mid tower? As we see silence blown on the lifestealer, and the Exorcism surely pops soon. What do you reckon? Is it this mid tower? Is that the best?
It looks like that's what they want to go for, but at the same time, it's like they have all their spells up. It's like it's pretty risky, right? Because I mean,
Tide's ready, Earth Spirit's ready.
They have Blink. It's like you just get ravaged, and then the fight can go south real quick.
This is a really important team fight. I think this team fight is going to dictate a large portion of the game right now.
Exorcism popped here, and the Undying's already tanked a lot of the tower, and he's not feeling very tanky. He's already down to 50% health, which is not ideal. Team Radiant wrapping around with the lifestealer moving into the trees there. Ryan's posturing. He wants to blink. He's got the blink, and he wants to ravage. In comes Stuart, picked out immediately by the ult. There's the lasso onto the Kunkka. Ravage comes through, blows up the Shadow Shaman, blows up the Underlord. and it's already 4 versus 2. Buyback from the Shaman, and there goes the blow up of Ryan, but he's already used his spell, so he's not too unhappy. Can they pick off Damien with the ballsy armlet toggle, but he gets away with it, and they disengage. Unfortunate buyback there from Appa. That's a really interesting team fight. Will they be able to catch the Disruptor as well? He may not be able to get away, but...
It's interesting, we were talking about Mage Slayer. Tim, do you reckon that his choice to get Mage Slayer there meant that he couldn't BKB and didn't run and just kill the Lifestealer and cause critical damage in that fight?
I think it's hard call. I mean, you wouldn't have the BKB at this point, right? You would have only just finished it. Mage Slayer costs around 2k, right? So.
Okay.
But at the same time, if he had a BKB, I think, yeah, he probably would have had a better fight, yep.
Can I also ask, there was a lot committed there when they found Stu, right? With that Disruptor ult, in many ways, is going to boss. I mean, it's going to... If they can catch the Tide, if they can catch the Earthshaker, that's, you know, a massive change to the team fight. Is it wasted on locking down the Witch Doctor, or would you happily throw that to blow him up?
I think it's wasted.
I think if you can delete him at the very beginning of the fight before he gets a single spell off, I think it's okay.
Yeah, because we saw Witch Doctor go, but we saw a pretty handy Ravage there from Ryan, right?
Like, I'd like to see the Disruptor ult used more in just getting rid of the mates, to be honest. Like, having him not able to rage, if you can get that initiation off where he can't rage, because I think there was a period of time where he actually managed to get a silence off on the Lifestealer that was running back from the tower. Like, if that was turned into a Blip's ulti, they could have just executed the fight minus the nakes and taken the tower, I feel.
Yeah, that's Deso up on the Lifestealer now as well, so he's going to be chonking out some real damage. As we see in the top lane, Team New Zealand posturing around a farming Tide, but the Bad Rider and the Earthshaker are not far behind. We may see a fight, we may not, but it'll be interesting. Team Radiant grouping up now as 4, but nope, no action. So back to a farming pattern, and really, like, Team Stuart's very happy with that, right? As we see a ping over Ryan. That might just be the stack. Do we need to see more action from Team New Zealand? Oh, Disruptor out, flown onto Darryl, but he pops off the BKB and walks it off.
Ooh, that's his first charge. So, yeah, what do you think about using the BKB, the very first charge? I mean, yeah, to dodge the...
He didn't have vision, so I was probably pretty scared to see them coming up.
Okay.
I'm defining.
Like he knows Kunka was around as well. So.
But do people overrate that first charge? It's a second of BKB. If you get away with, you know, not dying at a critical time of the game, surely you take that trade, don't you? You have to presume if you're Darryl that there's 4 people converging on you.
Yeah, I think the BKB is fine. You're just like, you're still sad about it though.
Yeah. That's just immortal OCD, perhaps. Yeah, sorry. Do we need to see New Zealand doing more?
I think, I don't know, I feel like it is past that time where they, you know, feel like they're really strong. They have to push into a Tide and a Shaker with Blinks. So, I don't know, man, like, the game, I think once they get the BKBs, they might have one more opportunity to maybe have a go, but up until then, they gotta wait these BKBs up. Wait for these BKBs.
Ah, man, it hurts to go down a game in these series. It's really hard to pick yourself up. We did see Team J, I think, go down 2 games and come back up to take it to Game 5 in last year's TD. Last season's TD, but I don't know. There's something about the morale breaking once you drop that first game in a best of 3. It just feels there's so much more on the line, doesn't it?
Yeah. Everything on the line, you could say.
Yeah, truly. And especially in this game, it's knockout, right?
Right. That's something we haven't talked about, right? If whoever advances gets into the money, right? So.
Yep. They go straight to the lower bracket final, which means that, you know, they're only 1 series away from the final and 2 series away from taking away the prestigious prize, which I forget how much it is, but it's the biggest TD prize pool in history, can I say? So,
bot lane.
It's an action bot lane, yeah. Team New Zealand rotating with the BKB popped, double damage onto No Spins, and he's going to blow up there. Oh, he gets away in.
He needs to rage.
And he's raging. There's the Disruptor ult, like Ray called it, and it's going to take more than just 2. The Tide Ravage comes in probably a little bit too late, and Hillary chasing the Bat Rider. Ryan brought back through the Disruptor glimpse, and that's going to be probably enough to pop him now with Hillary rejoining the fight. I mean, They called it the Disruptor ult on top of on top of Damien, I should say, the wrong young brother there, and also Rage not being used in a timely fashion. Was that a misplay, or was that just well executed by New Zealand?
I think the Rage could have definitely come out a bit earlier, and I think it might have saved him a lot of damage because the DP was sucking him off that whole time. So yeah, it could have saved him a lot of
Rage
help.
at all.
Oh, he didn't use it. I think he used it at the end when he was very low. So
No, he didn't get it at all.
he didn't
He got
get it.
silence, and then there's a small window where he could use it, and then he got silence.
Disruptor ult, yeah. The Disruptor ult is just on as we see Bat Rider ready to try and get 2 kills here up top, and he might get him. Catches the Shadow Shaman into the pit though, but that's not going to be enough. Underlord not moving very quickly, so he needs to get out of there. Use his TP. What was that?
Oh no, I was thinking he could chase this, but the TPR is gonna it's gonna guarantee his safety. So he's out.
Ooh, and he almost lost the courier there with the Guardian Greaves recipe, but there he's picked it up now and he immediately pops it. Not much mana. He's sitting on 70 mana. I'm not feeling this Underlord this game. Is that because we're not really executing, or is that just because of the draft? It just doesn't feel like he's anything like that tanky Tide, right?
Yeah, I think it's a really hard game. It doesn't help that he kind of got ganked a bit in the early game, so his game's kind of slowed down. But at the same time, against the Bat and against the Nakes, it's going to be really hard for you to do anything in the fights, right? Because the Bat, really excels against these kind of tanky front boys. You just kind of oil them up over a long fight, and then over the duration of the fight, he's taking a lot of damage. Yeah. And the Nakes just kind of chucks through him, so pretty hard Pit Lord game.
Breaking news we have from Ray. Is there a snake in your backyard?
Yeah, that's a neighbor's problem now.
Excellent. Spoken like a true migrant. So, let's go through the itemization here. We've got the BKB, the bots, and the Mage Slayer up on the DP, and the BKB and the Boots of Travel on the Bat. What's he saving for though? Oh, he's got the Ether Lens now. The 2 carries, Armlet, Deso, and a Hyperstone on Damien. Is he tanky enough? Is a naked Hyperstone enough?
I think he needs either Skadi or SMY.
Yeah, it feels a bit glass cannon, doesn't it? Like, doesn't feel good. And he's doing some really ballsy.
Oh!
Oh, Fred, you gotta clip that one. You gotta clip that. I've been seeing this all game. These armlet toggles have been freaking ballsy. He had to pay for it eventually. It's a bit too much.
Okay, so like in G's one, that was unlucky. That was just.
I mean, I got triple bash, but
Yeah.
like my still
Oh
doesn't.
no. NG, you kept going back.
Mid lane.
Bat Rider caught in the Disruptor ult. The pits, the shackles. Here comes massive Ravage catching all 5. One blown up straight away. BKB's popped. Here comes the Witch Doctor ult to clean up 1, clean up 2, clean up 3. But they seem to take their toll as well, right? The Tide and the Earthshaker fall. That's a 3 for 2 in the end. Massive Ravage and still a 3 for 2. I guess 2 for 2. You're right.
I think minus Roshan killing Lifestealer, Radiant probably pretty happy.
Well, there's mid tower gone as well.
Sue was not even committed, actually.
Yeah.
Considering Darryl got jumped like that, I think they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Managed to salvage an almost terrible fight.
Fantastic Ravage, though. I thought more would come of it, especially with the full duration Witch Doctor ults pounding into them. I guess there's some BKBs up now, right? So we had the Death Prophet and the Kunkka pop up.
Yeah. BKB plus no Lifestealer.
Yeah. With that Lifestealer, I think they lack the damage.
Taka, you there? Nah.
I think the Underlord and the Shaman tanked all the damage there, and then once the other cores came in with BKB, they don't actually have any damage.
I got a cheeky message from Tucker suggesting the Ravage was a touch slow. I don't know. It looked good to me, but I'm shit. So what do you guys think? Did it catch enough?
It caught 4 heroes, right? The 4 heroes that went in, I think it hit all of them. I think the follow-up from the Echo, maybe that was like they layered it on top. But I mean, yeah, I think after the Ravage got deployed, like they didn't have the damage to kill like through all the important heroes. So after the Ravage and the Echo, they just BKB'd off, and then yeah, they just ended up managing to kill all the heroes that committed.
TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok. That's all I can say right now.
I mean, you say that, but I think right now NZ I would say they're in control of this game, right? I think
Yeah,
they
but
just
like
won the team fight. They got the cooldowns. They should probably trying to do something.
I think what's happening here. I think Damien's gone 2 glass cannon, and if he's allowed to get the AC, it might be a bit late. But if they can move now, while he's still just got a Hyperstone and a Deso, I think he's just a bit too greedy on that build. They're not ready to deal out the damage. Sorry, Ray?
I agree with you. Like, I think what Danny said, you want to see an Ice Guard come out because like there's a double BKB timing here, and I feel like if you have the Scatty on the Lifestealer, you have another tool to be able to deal with like BKB piercing disables, right?
Yep.
And you just need to live through the initial burst damage that comes out from the team New Zealand as a slicer, and then you're able to basically run into them with Rage on.
I'm seeing Hillary now. Well, now I can recognize it because I've seen it too many times. But Hillary really managing his side lanes, but Darryl responding quickly as well. You Immortals are obsessed with lane position, and I'm sure with good reason, right?
Yes, it's probably one of the most important things in the game, right? If you can just push out the lanes, it makes it harder for the enemy team to really play the game of Dodos. Because you think about it, right? Every time it's like you do something, it's like, oh, we got to push the lanes out first. Otherwise, like, then your movements become very obvious when they don't see the hero in the lane, like, the creeps are hitting a tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very easy to read. It makes the game very easy to place. Just making sure those lanes are...
Hillary's going to be buying his Shivers Guard very soon, and I think they're going to move after that. He's got enough gold for it, but he might be saving for buyback as well. Is it buyback time? Is it save for buyback time at 30 minutes? Probably is, right?
I think...
It's too early, I think.
Yeah, I think you really want to get items like... Having an item that can really destroy the team fight is very important.
Well, look, bot lane's pushed out, mid lane's in, and top lane is pushed in for Team New Zealand. That might be enough. But Radiant says it's time to go in for the rush. Kunkka throwing out the torrent to let Damien know that he knows he's in there. And Damien walks out.
Roshan will have none of this business anymore.
I think, honestly, Team Dire has a better Roche lineup. I mean, Lifestealer, you can go in and hit Roche, but your Feast doesn't really work. You take a lot of damage. You're not really lifestealing anything, so...
Does Damien know that Feast doesn't work on Roche? Because he's trying to... Lifesteal can't ever do it solo, I don't think.
Yeah. Without the shard, you can't, I think, right?
Yeah, pretty difficult. You need
we got 3 in mid, or 4 in mid from here from Dire, walking potentially into 3 from Radiant, but they disengage. Is Shivers up? Yep, he's got his Shivers.
Up, yep.
Yeah, so we're ready to go, but obviously Hillary goes up top, fix the lanes.
Yeah, you gotta push him out, man. Look,
Yeah.
Spot, Hillary top,
Same. Favorite social media platform.
So to your point about the lifesteal, I feel like that's the build you go in like a free lifestealer game, but you have like Disruptor and Thingy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Yeah.
He's only got 1600 HP. You need like something to tank through the silence so you don't die.
And Kunkka also only 50 gold away from his AC, so we're going to see a lot of armor up on both teams really soon. Who benefits from that?
Oh, who's been pinged out? The lifestealer's been pinged out.
Oh, no.
Well, he's in quite a precarious position, but he's going to be able to walk away from that one.
Well, he decides to stay back and farm, so maybe not. But there's still a lot of magic damage coming out of Team New Zealand, right? Is an AC that good an item?
I was going to say, DP went for Shivas as well, so it seems like they really see a threat in this physical damage, but I think most of their damage right now is magical with the bat and the tide. Because it's really hard for the lifestealer to just go in, kind of like, just walk into the fight, go to town on someone, just like delete him, right? Because so much CC.
And the Kunkka's got an AC as well, right? So we've got a Shivers and an AC on New Zealand. And
I mean, their cores have BKBs, and the Underlord has a pipe, so I don't know how much other magic resist you can get.
And yep, Dire feels strong enough to take Roche. I think that's the right call.
Exorcism popped, so they want to take this quickly, and it's looking like they will. Holy shit sticks, that is... He's half health already within a couple of seconds. Radiant's grouping up because they smell monkey business. Smoke's popped.
Yeah.
The lanes aren't corrected, unfortunately, and Rush is taken. Appa might be the unfortunate catch here, but he's happy to take that one.
DP actually TP's out, so this could be a good fight.
Well, let's see if they commit. I don't think they will.
Oh.
He almost walked it off with the Glimmer Cape, but Darryl ticks him with the burn in the last second. Was that a deny Aegis, or was that something that they're going to use to play with? Because it seems really weird to then walk forward into the triangle there from Ben.
I mean, I think they want this Aegis, right? Like, their timing is all about as much structural and objective-based damage as you can, and then an Aegis always enables that. I don't think it'll be a farming Aegis, but we really do need to see the foot on the pedal soon.
Radiant's had enough. They're saying if you're not going to take this game by the heel, we will, and they're pushing down mid tower there very quickly indeed. What's your next move as Team Darryl? Are we going back to the farming game? Looks like they want to play Dota.
Split up the map.
I think yeah, once this DP ult comes up, they're gonna probably try go down a lane, and I think the Radiant team will just try to split the map. Yeah, so
Lanes are in a decent position though for Team New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
Not terrible, not bad, not great. Yeah, decent. Oh, they're pushing in.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looks like they're grouping up though, potentially for a smoke with Ben now back from the dead. Is anyone carrying a smoke? Disruptor is. They're pinging in mid. Hillary obviously going off to pick up nothing. I don't
wants
know.
to push out the bot lane. Yeah,
Of course, these immortal
So-
players. Yeah.
nah, because yeah, the thing with getting like boost of travels in these kind of games is like you can fix the lane, and then whenever a fight happens, it just travels to them, right? So
Yeah, but Darryl's onto it. He's sitting there camping the lane. Will Hillary hang around? Probably not.
I really would like to see some, I guess, some 4-stars on the supports on the NZ side. Like, if there's your Nakes, being able to kite the Nakes is usually the key to success.
Yep.
So, like, I'd really like to see 4-stars come out, especially on, like, Shadow Shaman
Yeah.
Instructor.
It's a bit, I mean, and Death Prophet going uphill against the Tide. Tide blinks away, which is interesting. But they do have the Kunkka and the Shadow Shaman not far behind. That smoke, which they grouped up for, seemed to have not happened. Hillary farming under the Radiant Observer. They're pinging him out. Here we go. Infested into the Earthshaker. Smoked. Darryl not caught, so he might show in lane as they wrap through their own jungle. New Zealand feels it in their Kiwi bones. Not today. No fish and chups for the Radiant as they back out. But they might be grouping for a smoke of their own as Hillary pushes out mid. Plenty of pings. Damien pinging their jungle. They seem to know where each other are, but they're playing a nice dance. Second smoke. Smoke's broken.
Right into
Big disruptor ult catching 3. Here comes the boat. There goes 2 heroes down. Both young brothers die immediately. They've got the Bat Rider caught in the shackles. He's going to go as well. That's 4 for none. That disruptor ult catching all 3 is pretty sad to start off a team fight when you're down here, right?
Walking up high ground, no vision.
Yep.
Yeah, well, what's really interesting is they were pinging it, and they knew kind of where they were, they felt it, but they just did the slow walk up. Unfortunate there. Is BKB an item for the Earthshaker at all, do you reckon, or it's just too much?
Well,
think-
he shouldn't just be walking up like that.
Here we go, the 35-minute timing to end the
Counter
game.
issue.
Maybe
Right
5
on
minutes too
time.
late, but they don't care. Here we go. So we got the Shadow Shaman ult dropped to take mid. And boy, are they slicing. GenericClone's got some attack speed with the AC, and he's only got a minute left on the Aegis, so he wants to use it. That's 1 Rax down. Surely they want to go for more. No buybacks just yet, and no buyback. Oh, that's
The Uber is cancelled.
the Uber ordered and the Uber cancelled. Let's just say it for what it is. Team New Zealand does not know how to order a taxi, right? They just... The number of Ubers that have happened right next to them, or not at all, has just been ridiculous this series.
Guess they're used to riding sheep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Top tower getting pushed as well. 2 towers. Is that enough, Tim?
you still have. I guess you don't have the DP, so I think they're gonna just wait for that, and then once they have it again, they'll probably go again.
Lincoln Sphere up now on the DP. I presume mainly for the lasso there. Not too hard to burst though. Oh, well, they've only got the Witch Doctor, right? Oh, and the Gush.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a good item to pick up right
Yeah.
now. Like, the main threat is the Bat Rider grabbing you with the suit.
But there's only like 3 or 4 targetable spells, right? You don't want to use... Actually, there's only 2.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need. You block that one spell, right? One lasso, and then
Yeah, but even then, I'm saying it's quite hard. Like for Stu to pop it or for the Gush to pop it. If he's got his positioning right, it's going to be, you know.
I think Fisher can pop it.
Oh my God, Kenny! It's Dota Christmas. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you feeling, Kenny? You feeling good?
Good. Yes.
Excellent. Love to hear it. You're on holidays right now, right?
About to finish last day
Oh
today.
well, let's go out with a bang. Let's play some really good Dota. Pause ends here as
Does Fisher? I don't think it does. There's no target.
I think if you click on the hero, it pops it.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it does.
No, it doesn't.
You can't
Can we-
target hero with Fisher.
I'm gonna test this.
Stewart going uphill. Will he meet the Shadow Shaman? Potentially. I want to
I
see a
guess-
fight here between the pos 5s. Oh, and he blinks away. Boo.
This Fisher Pierce's Wicked Sphere as well as Magic Lamp dispels Doom, right?
Cheeky from Ray there. We don't want to hear any of that. Alright. Game's kind of fallen back into a lull. Exorcism back on. In fact, all 10 ults ready to go. All BKBs ready to go. Itemization's pretty good. Lane's position's pretty neutral. Do you reckon New Zealand should be making a move again, or are they pretty happy with 1 Rags down now?
I think our next goal is going to be Roche, potentially to secure another Aegis. Ags Disruptors and Disruptor on Ags on Disruptor is another key one here.
Yeah.
That's good. They catch the bat with that. I feel like the game is over.
Yeah, he's got his Ags, and DP's 300 gold away from the Wind Waker. Tim, can you talk me through that item? Because I don't really... It's a really fucking expensive item, right?
Yeah, it's really expensive, but it lets you dodge a lot of spells that BKB
Oh,
can't.
Death Prophet going to get caught out top as the Infest bomb
great.
goes off. And that's going to be enough, I think, to blow him up. Holy shit!
big-
All you need, the paralyzing cast from Stu.
The Young Brothers pairing up there to blow up the Death Prophet. And her timer is significant, 90 seconds. Did she get the Wind Waker buy off? She did not. Which is
She
unfortunate.
did buy the Mystic Star, so that's why she doesn't have buyback for this next push.
And they're going to get top tower for free by the looks of it. But maybe they'll be able to get something from bot. No, the lanes are too pushed here. Kunkka does make fast work of lanes, but oh, Damien makes faster work of towers there. So top tower down in exchange for the DP. And finally, oh, Nathan's gone in. Drops his ult onto Disruptor, who in turn throws his ult. Here comes the catch. Will they be able to blow him up? Probably by the looks of it. But there's a lot being expended for this Earthshaker. You're okay with that, right? From Team Darryl? You've baited a lot of big spells, but they're not the biggest cooldown, right? Disruptor back up in 50 seconds. Ghost Ship back up in 50 seconds.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cooldowns used. I think they can still try to push this mid tower.
Yeah. But Nathan also back up in 30 seconds, so we're kind of a bit of a stalemate there, I think, in terms of timings. The Tide Hunter. Talk me through it. Tim, what does he need to do in the fights now at this point?
Ooh, I think you just gotta wait for the BKBs. So the fight's gonna start, right? And then all the BKBs will be popped. You kind of just want to dodge in the trees until you can kind of see an opportunity to get a good Ravage on the cores, and the Conquer and the DP.
So
Or-
but who's showing then, right? Like, this is the question that, you know, I know Kenny, you talk about this all the time, right? Who's showing in lane
4.
for Radiant? If the Tide is trying to counter initiate,
Yeah,
You can't
it
have the
has,
Earthshaker.
I think it has to be the Tide to show
Yeah.
it, and then the Earthshaker has to counter.
so we got the Watermelon up front with, is he tanky enough? He's got the Greaves, there's BKBs up. He's not going to get a great Ravage. Would you sacrifice the Ravage to make sure you've got some tank up front?
Ooh, I don't know. It's a hard game, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not easy, right? Because Earthshaker wants to hide. This is the conundrum we always have, right, Kenny? Like,
I think
It's
Yep.
okay.
Alternatively,
Stu
you
will
go
show.
BKB on Nyx and get him to frontline.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't see Damien playing that way. He's just not that kind of.
It's
That's the
okay,
only
right.
thing.
Because there's a disruptor roll with the bags. Might be too late for that.
Yeah, probably too late for that now.
It's okay. Stu will show. Stu will show.
I mean, Tim, you talked about this when you draft a hero that goes in, a hero that counter initiates, right?
Stu will set the bait.
Who have you got up front?
I think in this scenario, I'd put the next. Ooh, that's good. I'd put the.
Oh,
next up.
BKB popped on the Bat Rider. Because
Yeah,
the Glimpses
he was
caught him
being
out.
glimpsed, so
Yeah.
he didn't want to risk like getting Axe
Exorcism
ulted and just.
popped almost immediately in response, and then we made it into the Rosh pit, and that's down at 30% health already. There's some pings coming out, but I do not think Team Radiant's going to sniff this out. This is a massive timing just because of one pretty handy glimpse there from the POS 4. Big wins with the Shard. Who does the Shard go to? Quick!
I think it goes to DP. The fear is just invaluable.
Oh, he doesn't have one yet.
Excellent. Well, he's now got his Wind Waker. He's got his Shard. We've got Aegis on the GenericClone. They've got a 15k net worth lead. They've got mid-racks down. They're feeling pretty good, and they're pinging out
Oh no.
the Bat Rider. Will they be able to catch him? He's got an Invis rune too, and here comes... Oh!
Oh, he
Blink.
smells it.
Blink. That is
He
amazing.
smells it.
How good are these players? It's your boy Darryl, Tim.
Space created.
And he's out of there, TP'd out. That's you know what? That's why I suck at Dota 2, because I would have farmed that
I think
extra crit every time.
His Stormcrafter procced.
Yeah,
He had
but
vision or something.
He has a
Yeah, but
gem.
he-
Yeah.
Oh, he
He
has
has
a
a
gem.
gem, so they saw, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Still. No boomer fingers from Darryl. How old is Darryl? Is he a baby?
Yes, he is.
He's a baby.
Yeah, it's not fair, is it? It's just not fair. Team New Zealand pushing in bot now. It's really interesting. One thing I noticed about Hillary is he farms constantly, right? He's pushing out a lane or he's in your jungle. He does not stop. He wants the next item, right? He's always hungry for the next item. What is the next item for DP, or is it just buyback? It's just buyback for him.
You can replace this Mage Slayer, I mean, at this point in the game. But yeah, I think at this point you probably want to save for buyback.
Interestingly, they have gems on both teams, even though there's no in-biz heroes.
Yeah,
The vision.
Ward Vision. This is high MMR game.
That's more important than anything.
Kenny, I want to hear about your opinions on this Aghanim Scepter on the Tide. We've seen it a fair bit. It's definitely in the meta right now. What do you think about TD meta?
I think it's good because they don't have any D-push on the Radiant side. So it helps a lot.
Uh-oh.
Death Prophet now coming in on Darryl, but the blink being used just in time. They didn't get Darryl. Spider legs. He wants to catch Darryl. He's coming at them.
Disrupt ulti here and it's over.
Oh, they
over.
caught Damien, and there goes the glass cannon of the Lifestealer. He's just got no HP, right?
Oh, I think he saw Darryl up top and was like, "Oh, I've got to help him." And then, yeah, they just
a bit of a misplay, right?
Yeah, they see him coming up to help him, and they just one shackle and he's dead.
He's gone Abyssal Blade after the AC instead of the Skadi. It's pretty great on a Lifestealer, but is he still too fragile or not a problem? He's got escapes. He's got his ult.
He's getting next, but I would have. I feel like if they got an SNY or Scatty earlier instead of the AC, the Lifestealer could have done a lot more in the team fights.
He's just always one Disruptor ult away from being blown up, right? It just feels bad, especially with the boat and so much magic damage coming out of the DP.
Refresher Orb here is being queued up with the Tide Hunter.
Amazing, love it. Oh, he's been popped to the wrong side. Not feels bad for the GenericClone. He drops boat, and there goes the tower in seconds. He is absolutely slicing. He's got a Daedalus online now, and he wants those racks. He's getting caught again, but he's got the Aegis. Here comes the Uber. Will they take it for the first time ever? New Zealand!
Oh, they go top lane.
And they pulled it off. Here we go. Coming down top. 120 seconds to the next Exorcism. I don't know how I feel about fighting uphill without an Exorcism. Do you reckon they're going to wait that one out, or the time is right?
Just a quick tidbit. The Exorcism is physical damage.
Ah, I had no idea. My mistake. Do you reckon that's why we're seeing all this armor come out?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you, Kenny. That's why you are the man.
No
A lot of D push, a lot of D push coming out of that Tide, as you said. Just throwing it out onto GenericClone. He's got 50 seconds on his Aegis, and he wants to replace it with that Abyssal Blade that's coming in his pocket.
I needs to make sure that he has enough mana for the fight.
Ugh, that's not feels good. He's got a Greaves though. Maybe he's intending on using that instead of going back to Fountain. Alright, 35 seconds on the Aegis. They're coming uphill. He's just going to come and chonk away at the tower. Damien comes forward. There's the Disruptor ult, but he walks it off. He's going to get blinked back, and that's caught in the ult. He's going to get absolutely blown up. Aegis popped. Perfect timing. Seconds left. Nathan throws his Echo, but doesn't catch enough. There's Darryl gone. Buybacks from 3. Buybacks probably from 4. Damien's bought back, and that's potentially a dieback, but he is regenning health rapidly. Boat's going left, right, center. Dead Lifestealer. Dieback. And New Zealand yet to lose anyone other than the Underlord. Lasso onto the Kunkka, but shackles onto the Batrider. WilliamAtlas is coming forward. He's popped 2 siphons. He's Wind Wakering out of the fight to disengage. There's top tower gone, and they're still taking more. They'll be able to take the range racks at this rate if they don't do something. Darryl not much help. Nathan goes forward, gets caught out by the shackles. Meanwhile, a dead Disruptor there from the Tide but he might pay with his life for that.
Oh no.
Hillary wants blood, but he's unable to finish off the Tide. Darryl's posturing, buyback from the Kunkka and buyback from the Disruptor, because they see that obviously there's a lot of buybacks there on the Radiant, but then grouping up, will they go back in?
Ooh, a lot of spells being used, a lot of buybacks as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels bad that the Kunkka brought back just there, and the Disruptor if they don't do something with it.
It was an interesting fight. Like, Nyx once again like showed and got caught by the Disruptor.
Yeah, oh my
I feel like
God.
the Ravage was really late there. I think as soon as the Disruptor also went down, you want a Ravage to make sure that he doesn't die.
Well, they're coming back up, and Exorcism's back online.
Yeah, they have DP out and BKB.
Yeah. He pops it. They're gonna get Megas here.
I think Damo actually got out of the Disruptor. He just didn't rage when he got those back.
Yeah. He's not using his rage, is he? Oh, there's another Disruptor ult to catch the Earthshaker, and it will be enough to kill him. Oh, Darryl jumps into the middle of 5, looks for the DP and gets her. Pulls her all the way past the T-Force, but that's not gonna be enough because she's walking
The
back
Ravage
out.
is used.
Ravage is used. There goes the DP. The last tower hit kills her. The boat kills Stuart in return. That is a 1 for 2 in the return fight. And Damien finally respawning. Darryl gets glimpsed back by the Disruptor and so can't pick him off. Mega's up for Team New Zealand, who still have 2 T3s up and all 3 racks looking good. A 24k net worth lead, a DP dead but with buyback and 7,000 gold in the bank, and a Kunkka sitting on his Daedalus Abyssal finished. Post buyback, so potentially a dieback. Things looking pretty good for Team New Zealand, Tim. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think, Team Radiant is on the ropes. They're just kind of dying. They're just waiting for the end. I mean, there is a bit of life, but it's very difficult for them to come back against Mega.
Yeah, they had I guess they had a strategy in mind. They executed upon it. Like they did the critical damage. Culture exactly at 35 minutes. They're on their front door.
Yeah.
The problem here is I feel like the execution from the Radiant side has been really poor in some of the major team fights when it goes over the objectives.
Yeah.
Both fights going into the base, Ravage didn't really land at the right times. Rage wasn't pushed at the right times. It led to a lot of heroes dying before they could even really be effective in the fight. And those are key heroes. Like heroes like your Nakes, they can't die. You can't be the first hero to die in these fights. And a lot of that is snowballed into what we see right now, right?
Yeah.
You just can't build where you go full to 0 and die as life stealer. You have to sustain through the fight.
Not just
So,
the first to die,
it's
the first to
challenging.
die back as well, right?
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
popped twice. Can I also do a big shout out to Disruptor, who seems to be landing some fucking sick ults, right? Always catching the Nakes, being very disciplined about who he drops it on, but also having to catch 2-3 heroes at a time sometimes. And it's a low cooldown spell, as Nathan found out, right? He walked back in and he was popped off almost immediately as well. So
I think on that too, I don't know if you noticed the first time the Nakes were caught at the top, where Darryl was in the woods.
Yeah.
The Disruptor actually held his ult.
waited for him to
Yeah,
use.
he waited until the shackles was down and then he
Yeah.
topped.
Really heads up play from the Disruptor, who,
Discipline.
let's not forget, was a struggling POS 3 in that first series, moved to POS 4 and has flourished since then.
I think Damo needs to get a blink.
Oh yeah? The Kenny Blink call? He's queued up the Skadi though. Would you go Blink over Skadi?
I would just blink on the Disruptor and try to find the Disruptor. And then get the Ravage follow-up.
Dead. I don't nothing on it.
I think Damien needs to reflect on this game and think about what he's going to be doing next game right now.
Yeah.
Because this game, I just don't see the rate going on. Who knows? Cast a curse. Might be more words.
But also, can we also not understate how big these exorcisms have been, right? They've been pounding damage, right? It's just been so much hurt in the fight and really hard to control. They haven't really been able to kill Hillary enough. He's 16-3 on the DP. I reckon my call in the draft stands, right? DP is a really hard hero in TD because it just gives you, I think it also gives you a natural timing to fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sets you direction.
It gives you objectives. It gives you a pace that is hard to match.
Smoke coming out here from the Radiant side.
ballsy smoke because the lanes aren't super pushed out, and they do have megas, so they'll know about it. They're looking for, I don't know who they're looking for, but they might find the tax collector. He's gone straight into the jungle though. And
They want DP for sure.
Holy shit, they're missing everyone. But there's the Underlord, and that will have to do. He BKBs and he TPs. There's the Abyssal though, so he's not going to get away. Disruptor coming in though.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's finally got his tank up, and he's got a halberd. So that's another thing that Damien's going to have to deal with soon. That halberd really feels like another nail in the coffin. That really hurts, right? Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
I think
He's
at
had
this
that
point,
for a while. He got that before the BKB.
Yeah, okay.
But I was just looking at Damo's profile. Looks like I don't know unless he's
He
been
doesn't
playing
play under.
it
He doesn't
elsewhere.
play. No, he doesn't play it. I've never seen him play.
Yeah,
Lifestealer.
the last time he played was 2016, and then 2013, and he's won.
Yeah, I didn't like the pick. Just didn't like it.
I think focus on the next game. Best of 3. Right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like it's a melee strength hero that lifesteal is like Wraith King, but it's a bit different.
Like it might even be worth it for them just to GG out and go next.
I reckon they lost this game because of Tim. Tim countering the Wraith King so hard has put the fear of God into Team Darryl, and they had to change their draft up. So Tim, this loss lays squarely at your feet, my man.
I guess I'm going to have to apologize to all the Not Today Offline fans.
To all those Wraith King players,
Yep.
no one feels safe anymore on that hero because Jimmy's out there. Jimmy's out there waiting for you on a PL or a Medusa coming to you. All right, Dyer's coming in to finally put Darryl out of his misery. Double. Oh no! Double
into the
serpent
well.
spot.
Into the well.
Scott
Oh, but there's double shaman.
got the Aegis. Yeah, double shaman's doing a lot of damage there. Refresher Ravage being used, but those two snakes are pounding a lot of damage. As is. Oh no! Earthshaker whiffs his ult. Damien's trying to do damage, and Darryl calls GG because that game was over. Team New Zealand goes through. Lakshman remains undefeated on picking the winning hero in TD for this series, as all of you guys got it fucking wrong. What have you got to say for yourself, Tim? Your boy Darryl did a lot, but not enough in the end.
Yeah, Team New Zealand proving to, be too strong for the first draft of Darryl. So we're going to see if they can change it up next draft.
I did see Stu disconnected before the GGs came out. Not sure that means anything.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. But you know what? If there's a team that I reckon that can come back from this, Team Darryl has done it time and time again. So let's get over to game 2. Fred, did you want to refresh the stream? Is that how you got to do it? Yeah, great. All right, guys. See you soon. Fuck, man. Feels bad. That was pretty rough.